Hi class, my name is Elise and today I'm gonna show you the zine that I made for this class as my final project. So I made a zine on porn, which is called Whose Pleasure? And I actually chose this subject because in the first semester, my first semester at Concordia, I took this course called Sexual Representation in Cinema, and we actually talked a lot about the porn industry and how it was conveying different stereotypes, and I actually enjoyed this course so much, and I've been really interested in the subject. And so I knew I wanted to focus on that for my final project. So I decided to make a zine because it was central to this idea of representation, and also I knew I could get really creative in conveying my message. So I decided to focus on how porn is based on the idea of real sex, so what's happening on screen is supposed to be real. So the porn industry uses different strategies to offer like proof that what is happening on screen is happening for real. So they use very explicit scenes to prove to their viewers that is what is happening on screen is happening for real. And I read an article for my final critical review on this idea of real sex, and that porn tries to promote real sex, but at the same time doesn't offer like a real depiction of sex and how it's supposed to be. And based on that idea, I decided to make my zine on the unrealistic expectations that porn convey, and also mainly how it's focused on male pleasure and how women are supposed to act a certain way and look a certain way in order to fulfill the point of any sexual act, which is male pleasure. That's why it's called Whose Pleasure. So I actually got really creative. I really enjoyed making that zine. I used a mix of cutouts, prints, drawings. So this is the cover page. So it's actually a 6-page zine. The first page looks like this. So here it's one of the expectations. So, in porn, women are usually very, very loud, and they express how much they like what's happening in a very exaggerated way. So this is expected from women to really scream and be very expressive of how much they enjoy it. However, they shouldn't speak about their own desires. So that's why the next page represents this drawing of a woman. Her mouth is censored and saying, yes, harder. So this is what she's expected to say. I also put the real photos of her breasts and genitals because they're often the main focus of any porn videos. This is actually my favorite page. I think the message is really strong here. I actually went on Pornhub and I screenshot all these titles. They're all pretty violent or sexist. They use very, very discriminatory language. And here you have this drawing of this woman, with tattoo and hair, body hair, and she's trying to protect herself from all these titles, stereotypes, and violent images that we see in porn. And here I've written, "You're expected to be," and you have all these words like slutty and loud and grateful and submissive and shy, blah, blah, blah. And there is actually a blank space that I included there so people can actually write another word. And finally, we have the final page, which is the conclusion. It says, "Porn expects a lot from you, but for whose pleasure?" So you're expected to be a certain way and act a certain way because that's the images that are conveyed in mainstream porn. So the message is basically that porn has this really male-centered perspective, and my zine is actually criticizing this idea that porn / sex is all about male pleasure. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.